This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Wow, that echo. Did you hear that? 3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Thank you, Chris. It's Wednesday, September 16th. I'm Tori, here with Al, and Stephanie Jones joins us from home.
Oh, my girl, Steph.
It is Hump Day. How are you feeling on today? How you doing, Steph?
I'm doing well, but I'm even happier to see you look like Twiggy from the 60s with your headband and your florally dress. I think you look fabulous, Tori. Look at you.
Thank you. I wanted her to say that.
That's cute.
Why can I not even make a good, cool look?
I don't know. That's not your lane.
Yeah, it's definitely not my lane. That's so true and mean. True and mean. All right, some celebrities are taking a break from social media as a way of protesting hate speech on Facebook and Instagram. This is everywhere, guys. Stars like Katy Perry, Jennifer Lawrence, and Leonardo DiCaprio are asking people to stay off Facebook and Instagram for 24 hours today. Kim Kardashian used the hashtag #StopHateForProfit and blamed the platforms for spreading hate propaganda. And, this is very important to me, misinformation. Amy Schumer posted an image of Mark Zuckerberg that said, quote, ignoring repeated warnings that Facebook users were organizing to slaughter peaceful protesters is not a, quote, operational mistake. It's complicity in murder. It's a big charge there. Earlier this month, Zuckerberg admitted Facebook failed to remove a page that encouraged armed Americans to take to the streets in Kenosha, Wisconsin, calling it, quote, an operational mistake. Is this effective, Steph?
I think one is raising more awareness.
Yeah.
It's getting eyeballs and putting pressure on Mark Zuckerberg, which I think he obviously needs. And I agree with what they're doing. I just don't know how impactful one day is going to be. I mean, it's going to cost Facebook and Instagram. They're going to lose a lot of money because the reason how they create all their revenue is by having these very high-profile stars with millions of people that are following them and watching, listen to their every word, that are going on the app every single day to, tune into what they're saying. So I feel like also it needs to be a bit more in the fact that maybe the fans, maybe we don't use Instagram and Facebook for a day and there's no one is blogging on the platform. I feel like maybe that's the message that we should be promoting rather than just the stars saying we're just not going to use it for one day. I think it needs to be across the board, like everyone unite together and no one use it. Otherwise, I mean, is it going to dent them one day? Yes. Right. But I just feel like there's a lot more that needs to be done.
Right. I feel like I didn't know about this as much as this, so it's raised my awareness, Al. But real quick, I feel like we needed more time to get this as a movement. I didn't know I was supposed to be off Instagram today, and I'm a pretty hip person.
Right. I mean, look, let's be honest. We're talking about what the celebrities are saying to Instagram and Facebook. I think we all need to stop and listen to hear what Facebook and Instagram are saying to us.
They don't care.
Their silence is deafening, and they don't care because there are certain things that are taken down immediately. If someone tried to post something encouraging child pornography or human sex trafficking, that would be flagged immediately. If you put up a picture of, I've actually seen this, of mutilated bodies. Let's leave it at that. Or a woman's nipple even. Yeah, something like that. Even nakedness, that's taken down immediately. But the guns and the calls to violence are not. So let's listen to what they're saying, and we just know that they don't care. And the only way that you can hurt somebody is with their bottom line, with a sustained attack, not just one day. So I agree with Steph on that one.
Well said. Well said. I learned a lot on that. All right. Well, this was interesting news. Cardi B has filed for divorce from Offset after 3 years of marriage. So court documents reveal that Cardi says the marriage is irretrievably broken. That's nothing's going to happen, and there are no prospects for reconciliation. A source revealed to People magazine that Offset cheated on Cardi B throughout their entire relationship. But she chose to look away because of their daughter culture. But now she's had enough. Would you stay for the kids? Do you stay for the kids? Al, you're the one who has kids on this panel.
Yes, and I'm also divorced, so I can speak very well on this.
Yeah, be honest.
I'll tell you guys this, and Steph, you're not married, but I'm sure you've dealt with men, as have you, Tori. Look, in terms of infidelity with a man, in terms of wanting to be in a relationship minus infidelity or not, it's all in where his head is. It's almost like quitting drinking, which I also did. You can take somebody to rehab 5,000 times, but until they're ready, it's not going to work. Right. And she is got 75 million followers. She's beautiful. She seems like she's a lot of fun, but he wasn't ready. And that should be like ground zero for every woman saying, what was wrong with me? What was wrong with me? It has nothing to do with you.
But that's
it's
what we
with
do.
your,
You're right.
Yes, you guys beat yourself up.
We do that.
This man was not ready. We have seen incredible women that have dealt with infidelity and dealt with abuse and things like that, psychological and emotional and physical, because the man is not ready. Now, the physical is a whole different thing.
Right.
But in terms of infidelity, if the man's not ready, no matter what you do, unfortunately, it's not going to work.
But did she not, I mean, no pun intended, did she know that on the onset of marrying Offset, I didn't mean to make a pun there, that he was going to do
Can
this?
I ask Steph a question?
Yeah, please.
Based on what you just said?
Yes.
Do you go into relationships knowing that maybe fidelity is not this person's strong suit, but you think that you can change him?
I think obviously that depends on each individual person and what they are and aren't okay with. And, you know, there are obviously red flags that can pop up, whether it is infidelity, whether it might be some form of addiction, whether it might be some form of abuse, whether it's emotional or physical. There'll be telltale signs with a person. It's sometimes how much you choose, obviously, to like ignore those because
Right.
you don't want to address them, because maybe you're so emotionally invested in that person that you do think maybe they'll change, or maybe they'll change for me, or, you know, like it's gonna be different, and like you push that to the back of your mind because you're like, no, I want this to work. And I do feel bad for Cardi B because, I mean, they've had a very emotional and rocky relationship. They split up publicly many times because of his infidelities, and you know, there's times where he's come in the middle of the stage when she's been performing with flowers and, you know, tried to woo her back because she wouldn't communicate with him, and in all sorts of different things. But you know, there comes a point when you have got a child as well as, and I feel for Cardi on this. She said, you know, I don't want my daughter to look at this and see this as being acceptable for her life. You know, I want her to be treated with respect. And like I always had this thing, obviously I don't have a husband and I don't have a child, but I think, you know, if I ever did get married and I had a baby girl, I would want the father of my child to be the first person that takes my daughter on a date and show her how a man should treat a woman, and show that like a loving home environment, because that's what they deserve for themselves. So I'm proud of Cardi for putting her own emotions to one side and her love for the father of her child and her husband, and thinking, you know what, enough's enough, and I have to move forwards now for myself and my daughter.
I love that. I just will say real quick, if you always think it's you at home, even this happens to people like Cardi B, those big people, like this happens to all of us. So just, if you're beating yourself up today about stuff like this, forgive yourself for today.
And Tori, I know we got to move on,
No,
but I'll
please.
just say, look, we're focusing on the relationship. Don't forget your kids have eyes and ears, and they look at things. Your kids know when mommy and daddy are arguing. Your kids
can
know when
feel
mommy
it.
and daddy are sleeping
yeah.
in separate bedrooms, when they're not talking. Your kids need to see affection, just general hugs in the morning,
Touching.
kiss on the cheek,
Right.
holding hands when you're out at the mall, all these kinds of things your kid needs to see so they can look for that in their partner. So it's bigger than you two.
I love that conversation. Well, moving on to folk. Did you see that? How
I did. That was good.
Thanks. Madonna will direct and co-write a film about her life. Huh? The Material Girl is teaming up with Diablo Cody, who of course won an Oscar for writing Juno, to co-write the script. Now, Madonna will also direct the biopic, which she says will focus on the music and the roller coaster ride that has been her life. She adds she is the best person to tell her own story. I think this is a terrible idea for Madonna to do it herself. However, I could be totally wrong. I just think Madonna has too much Madonna about her lately, that like when I follow her on Instagram and she's become hard to kind of follow.
Steph, you sound like you disagree.
Yeah,
What's up?
tell me.
Okay, so we've seen two very prominent biopics in the past couple of years. They were Rocket Man, based on obviously Elton John, and we saw Bohemian Rhapsody, based on Queen, Freddie Mercury, who's no longer with us. So one thing I liked about Bohemian Rhapsody, it was very raw and it was very real, and there was multiple different people's perspectives. So they actually went to every single member of the band and asked, how did Freddie appear to you? Not Freddie's idea of himself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I believe that was a very accurate portrayal, which was backed up by multiple people that spent many years of their lives with him. In regards to Elton John, he did this himself with Rocket Man. He was on that team. He picked the actor that he wanted to play himself. He heavily constructed all of that, but I thought it was beautifully real and honest. And that was something I was interested in when I went to go and see it. I thought, how's it going to be knowing that Elton has been so heavily involved in the creativity of this and how the story's going to come out? Now, does Madonna have that in her to be as honest, because I mean, when I watched Elton's biopic, I was blown away by the brutality, how stressful it was, and how he portrayed himself, and some of his narcissism in his life and his addictions. So will Madonna do the same? I don't know. Does she have it in her? It's questionable.
Directing is such a difficult art, and neither of those two people thought of even touching. Like Elton John would never have thought of directing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think one thing I think that we're missing here, guys, is it depends on if you are going to tell your own story, Steph and Tori. I think it's all about like what this is doing for you. If this is a catharsis for you, if you're Elton John and you're like, I need to get these demons out. This is where I was. I hit rock bottom. I said this to my kid. I hit a cop. All these kind of crazy things. You want to get that out so you can exercise those demons. That's one thing. But if you want to make a movie talking about what an incredible human being you were and what an incredible life you have, that's going to be a totally different movie, even about the same person. So we all have stuff in our personal movies that we may highlight or make sure it hit the editing floor.
Yeah, I just think directing is not easy to do, and I wonder if she can pick it up that quickly. I will say this, I don't know if you know this, but before I got DBL, I was Madonna in the Japanese biopic that took over for TV Asahi, and all they did was give me a wig that looked really bad. And like,
how am I just hearing about this?
I have video. I have video.
What?
It is
I
atrocious.
see.
It is awful.
Okay, we need that
And then
video.
How
at
have
one
you
point,
never told us this?
There's a unitard and there's a wedgie. I'll talk to you
Steph,
later.
4 years. I've never heard this.
It was horrendous, but it was like 1 billion people saw it.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, Stephanie, stick around. Coming up on DBL.
This is cool.
From a gigantic T-Rex to the hardwood floors from Kobe Bryant's final game, we'll show you some pretty incredible items hitting the auction block. Then Kendall Jenner opens up about her green pastime. Stephanie tells us what's up. Not a farmer. And as DBL enters its 4th year, most of our coworkers are working from home during the pandemic. We miss them all, in good posture on what you just did.
Thank you.
You altered it. We miss you guys. We miss you guys. We miss you.
Nice shot, Rob.
Nice shot. We'll see you. We'll be right back.
Daily Blast Live is to add sparkle to your life. We're giving away the official Daytime Emmy gift bag filled with luxury products worth more than $5,000. Here's how you can win. Send us a video telling us about your quarantine, how your life has changed, new hobbies, or plans you had to cancel, and what you look forward to the most once the pandemic is over. The winner will be announced Friday, September 25th, and become the owner of the official Daytime Emmy gift bag.
One car accident. Everything.
Welcome back to DBL. Chris Evans finally responds publicly about his very private situation, and you won't believe Kendall Jenner's new hobby. It's time for What Up Wednesday. Our first stop on the What Up World map is LA, home to Chris Evans, who's had quite a rough week when he accidentally shared nude photos online. Yikes! But leave it to Captain America to find a way to turn his mistake around. Chris returned to the internet tweeting, "Now that I've got your attention, vote November 3rd. And here's what's up. Are we surprised that the cutest man that loves puppies is able to turn awkward into wholesome? And guys, it's 2020. We respect each other's private privacy. Come on now, get with it." Let's hop over to Calabasas and visit Kendall Jenner. So the 24-year-old model is sharing a new side of herself. She admitted on Kate Hudson's podcast to being the family stoner.
I am a stoner.
Really?
Yeah, no one knows that. So that's the first time I've ever really said anything to that.
The best part about all of this is that we can now say that Kendall, Martha Stewart, and Snoop Dogg all have something in common. I mean, who would have thought? And we're back in LA for our last stop, where there's another rumor going around about Ellen DeGeneres. So this time, reports are saying that Ellen could be the host of the Friends cast reunion on HBO Max. Andy Cohen asked Lisa Kudrow to confirm, and Lisa gave a dodgy answer.
Did I hear that Ellen DeGeneres was hosting the reunion?
Host that. Yeah, she's gonna host that.
I don't know. I don't know that that's been decided.
Here's what's up. Now, it's no secret that Ellen has faced some controversy recently. Plus, the reunion is being rescheduled like a lot. It makes you wonder, could it be because they're finding a new host? But if you're in need of a nostalgia fix, good news. Fans got a sneak peek at the Fast Times at Ridgemont High reunion, which is taking place tomorrow. And yeah, that's Jennifer Aniston, only 4 squares away from Brad Pitt. I mean, Matthew, Julia, Shia, Sean are all there too. But I mean, come on, 4 squares away. That's it for this week's What Up Wednesday. Daily Blast Live will be back right after this.
Ladies, what's the first thing
Welcome back to DBL. Y'all check your wallets, have a few $1 million to spare. Well, we found some crazy unique items up for auction we want to tell you about. First up, You can bid on Stan the T-Rex. I love that his name is Stan.
Right.
It's like Gary the T-Rex. He's 13 feet tall. He's 40 feet long. He likes pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. He's one of the world's most complete set of T-Rex bones, and he's currently on display at Christie's in New York. He's expected to fetch between $6 to $8 million. Wow. I don't know where you store that. Steph, would you be interested in that real quick?
Sorry, you just saw me leaning so far into the camera because I was absorbing all of Stan. He's called Stan after the paleontologist guy who dug him up and found him. So that's why he's called Stan Tori. There you go.
Wow.
Ooh.
I stan you because of that answer. Next up, we have Kobe Bryant's autograph section of the Staples Center floor. Kobe signed his number 8 after his final game in 2016. It could go for as much as $500,000. I got to be honest, Al, I think this could go for a bidding more and go way more. You put that in a frame and it's art. I mean, what a piece of memory.
Yeah, I mean, it's a piece of NBA history, a piece of just our history as a globe, because everybody loved Kobe. So to have that at $500,000, there's going to be some billionaire tech guy that's going to go up to 30.
I think it'll just be like, and the fact that he just passed, I mean, there's just a lot there. Finally, I want to get to a plastic crown. You know, not a big deal. Oh, but wait. Oh, the music's awesome. It was worn by the notorious B.I.G. and it just sold for nearly $600,000. The late rapper famously wore the $6 crown. Yeah, it cost $6 during a photo shoot. That's the best one to buy. Because at a party, you put it on and you're like, oh, welcome.
This is a random memory stuff, but when I was in LA, I was at the airport getting ready to come back, and there was this older white woman that had a cat that had the Biggie crown on, but you could tell that she had no idea that it was a reference to Notorious B.I.G. She's like, oh, what a cute cat reference. And it was a big black cat.
She's like, look at the crown.
Yeah, and it was definitely for Biggie. So that's how much hip hop has touched the world, is people that don't even know they're a part of it are a part of it.
My father actually said, oh, Judy, don't be so awake. And I said, are you trying to say woke? And he said, yeah. So
I like that.
Even reaching.
We're switching that up now.
We're reaching out
I'm awake now and now I'm woke.
Now I'm woke, that's right. All right, up next, oy vey, it's me. The video, they found it of me as Madonna. You don't want to miss it. Oy, ay, 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 ay.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The bladder control.
So this is interesting. A 2-year smartphone sleep study proves that a lack of sleep is linked to gaining weight. We're chatting about it in today's Rise and Thrive, sponsored by SoClean. For years, researchers have studied how sleep influences your BMI by relying on the participants' memory. But this new study used fitness trackers and smartphones, and over a 2-year period, they tracked the sleep of 120,000 people. The study found that those with BMIs of 30 or above, which is considered obese, slept less than average at night.
That makes sense.
Yeah, when you're sleep deprived, certain hormones are going to spike, which results in increased appetite. So good to know when it comes to sleep. For more ways to rest easy, go to SoClean.com or call 1-800-528-6029. I want to talk about sleep more, but I kind of also
We have
feel
something
like
very important to discuss.
Something very important is we found the Madonna video. And this is just, please know, I was like 20. This is my first job ever. And this is.
Play the tape.
Okay. That's me in the pink. And I twirl. And yeah.
What scene is that?
This is when they were talking about her and her DJ days.
And who are the people in the corner looking at you?
They're extras. They are extras. And I wore my Ugg boots because they didn't even tell me they were going to shoot the bottom. And they had a dance instructor, but instead they just told me to do what I could. And that was me doing that.
From humble beginnings.
Yes.
That's very inspiring, Steph. I feel like I can do anything after that, from where Tori started to where she is now.
I did think in my head.
You should write a book.
I love it. I think we need a reenactment, a modern day reenactment. Halloween is coming,
That'll
Tori.
never happen, Stephanie. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place.
Take us out. That was awesome, Tori.